Well, it's that time of the week where we do a Friday roundup, and this week I'm going to show you some products that we've been making for a very long time and some products that we designed relatively recently. And what all these products have got in common is that they've all been copied by other manufacturers. And the first thing I'm going to go to is the Type 9 concentric release bearing. And the reason I know that this is copied by other people, and we were the people that came up with the idea, is because this is the very car that the idea came about. And now this car was owned by John Hill, who was a writer and photographer for Classic Ford magazine, and this was a project car that they were running in the magazine. And he came to me and said, we want to do a 5-speed Type 9 installation feature, but I want you to be as sympathetic to the car as possible and not cut it about. So he said to me that I'd come up with various different ways of getting the clutch arm to actuate, and he suggested that you could maybe use a concentric release bearing, which is what this is, a center push one if you like. And I said, yeah, that's a great idea. So off to the motor factors we went and got one of these, and then I engineered this boss on a little hobby lathe that I had at home at the time and did a prototype and put it in the car. And the very one that I fitted is still in the car and still running. So this car then was sold to Simon Woolley. Simon Woolley ran it for a while. I think it had a Vulcan 1700-ish crossflow in it. And I think the car, well, I know the car ended up in Japan, and it's still running the same setup and it's still working. So if you're to buy one of these, whether it be the Type 9 one here or whether it be the T5 one here from other manufacturers, we sell to some of the big names who use this as well, but the chances are that it's a copy of these two. Another product that we've recently done was a quick shift with a nylon type bearing in it, which is, we call it the zero noise, because the ones here, if you see there, look, that has a steel bearing in it, and we still sell these, and for motorsport where you don't really care about the noise, they're fine. But if you've got a road car and you find it about 60-70 mile an hour, you get a resonance in the car, and these make an horrendous noise. So we came up with this, but it wasn't just a matter of swapping the old bearing out, steel bearing, for a nylon type bearing. We had to re-engineer both the stick and the housing because the tolerances on the bearings are slightly different. So there's lots of people out there now copying these, manufacturing these, but we're the people that came up with the idea. So if you want to go somewhere to buy something and be assured that we know everything about the product and can give you advice on the product, then come to Retroford. So I think that rounds it up for this week. Have a great weekend.